All right, all right. Here we are with the great Mr. Isaiah.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Isaiah, one of our students that we had with pharmacy tech lessons. Hate to see you go, but it's actually a good thing that you're leaving because that means that you successfully did work and you got the job done. So,
Yes, ma'am.
Isaiah, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for taking out your time to speak with me and to speak with our audience today. And
Hmm.
I just want to ask you a few questions, and I just want you to really just share your story with our audience because I feel that they can really learn from you because you're
Hmm.
a person that you've gone through a lot of the struggles that a lot of people are experiencing with trying to pass the PTCB exam, trying to get into the job market, and ultimately trying to become a pharmacy technician. So, just share with me a little bit about your journey and how you even got to the point of wanting to finally pass this exam once and for all. Like why did you want to start it? How did you get here from the beginning?
Alrighty. Well, let's go back maybe roughly 4 years, maybe 4.5 years, 5 years closely. It's how long this journey has took me to get to this point here. Well, I started out as a trainee to local retail pharmacies, just like any trainee does. I did that for just about a year and a half until my license expired. And at a young age, I was searching, I was looking around. I just graduated high school, didn't know what I wanted to do yet. Still, my mind was a little fuzzy, so I decided, I heard people talk about becoming a trainee. Just try it out, get your feet wet. Pharmacists may be in the outlook later on. So I was like,
Right.
you know what, let's give it a try, right? Next thing you know, maybe like about 4 months into it, I fell in love with it instantaneously. It was just a motion with me which I can run with. It's just my kind of field and my kind of thing that I love to do. And about maybe 2 days prior, I'm a big time procrastinator, but thanks to pharmacy tech lessons, that is no longer a big deal. But big time procrastinator, and I waited 2 days before my training license expired to go ahead and take my exam.
Wow.
And at the time, I didn't study. My parents urged me to study. Hey, go pick up a book, just learn, get it done. And I'm thinking, I got it in the bag. Everybody who works as a trainee, you've been in the pharmacy for a long time. You feel like you're seasoned. You feel like you're already certified. Like, I got this. I ain't worried about nothing. And I was definitely one of those people. And when it came to take the exam, I actually bombed it. Well, not really bombed it, but I didn't. Let's just say I didn't walk out of there with a smile on my face,
Right.
with the end result being a fail. So with happening, I decided, my training license ended up, it expired. So I had no choice. I was unemployed for like about 3 or 4 months. And I was like, okay, you know what? Well, let me get, I didn't know what to do at that point. Um, just the pharmacy stopped for me. So it's like everything just stopped for me. So I didn't know what to do. So I said, okay, I think after like 3 weeks, 1 to 3 weeks, they send you results through the PTCB, and they'll let you log in and let you review it and kind of give you an overall rundown of where you messed up and stuff. So I decided to take that and run with it. I looked at it and said, okay, you know, everybody fails this. Nobody's perfect. I'm not the smartest, but I'm definitely not the dumbest. So let's try to let's get this taken care of. So I go back to work. So the second time came around, and when I studied, I didn't study the way I needed seriously. I was in and out. If I had time from doing other things, I would sneak in 20 minutes of study. Okay, and that was my mistake right there. I wasn't fully invested in the whole deal. It's not just about studying, but we're going more in depth on it later on. So the second time came around, and I knew I didn't study. I knew deep down. I feel like the first time around, I knew. You just get this feeling when you sit there, you sit in that chair, and they give you these headphones to put on, and you're nervous because nobody else is there, and you're in a little cubicle, and they give you a basic calculator, and they give you a scratch sheet of paper until you go to work. So right there in that moment, you freeze up, and you're like, oh God, is this going to happen or not? And you run to the questions. Some of them you don't know, some of them you do know, and the ones you don't know, you seem to pay attention to more, and you psych yourself out right before you even start. So um, during that, I actually failed that exam as well. That's the second one in a row for me, and I said that's it for me. That's it for me. I reviewed that score, and it was literally a reverse of my first score. So my first score was a 1353, and the second was a 1335, I believe. And I saw that, and me at that point, I was like, I'm gonna draw the line in the sand there. This is not for me anymore. I tried, at the time I thought I did, but I didn't actually. Um, I'm at that time I was like, I tried, I put the work in, I did everything I could possibly done, lying to myself, of course, and that was it. It was a wrap for me. So I went on and I left, and I became a manager for a dermatology office. Did that for about a year. Didn't like that. Okay. And this is how I noticed that my journey for pharmacy is it's there. This is my path. I kind of know that. I did just about everything. I became a personal trainer at one of our local gyms. I also worked in optical. I was a front desk associate there, and I learned about every aspect of medical. I kept running away. So then, sitting in these jobs and going through the motions every day, getting up 9 to 5 full time, and it started to wear me down, to the point where I knew right then and there, this is definitely not what I want to do. I'm not happy. Yeah, I got money, but money does make the road go round for some, but for me, it's not about money. Money comes and goes. Your happiness is kind of like a moral compass to me. It makes me feel a little bit better. So, I text Miss Unisha. Well, I emailed her. I've been watching her videos since I took my first exam, which is 2017, somewhere around there. And I emailed her one day because I saw her flyers as, "Have you not passed the PTCB yet?" And I was like,
That's what I was going to ask you. I wanted to know, even from that journey, because you had a tough journey. Like, you failed the exam twice.
yes, most definitely.
Times, and then you went and worked for a year somewhere else, like not even in pharmacy and not even in the career path that you wanted. So I was going to ask you that, like, what made you choose us? Like, what made you decide, okay, I do want to give it another shot, and I do want to choose pharmacy tech lessons? Like, what got you to that point?
Two things, three things. Well, I can't count them on my finger, but the main two would be, I saw your comments in the YouTube section. Like, your comments are overflowing with positivity. That's number one. And plus, the way you explain information, your outgoing positivity, just your vibe around you, and how you learn and how you structure your program, right then and there. I was totally not expecting you to take me on. I really like that didn't come in my mind, not 1%. Because I'm thinking she's probably out of state somewhere. She's probably like in New York or something, and we're gonna do some kind of training. And I really need that hands-on experience. And when I emailed you that day, I really didn't expect you to email me back. I thought it was gonna be like somebody telling me, "Oh, we don't do this," or so on and so forth. And I was sitting there that day, and I was like, man, I really need to get this done. I don't want to be here anymore. And when I saw you email me back, I was blown out of my chair. Like, my socks got hot. I was like, oh, this is happening right now. So, and this is kind of how we got here. So I would definitely say that it was the reviews about your program, your website. I did my fair share of research, your website, and I've been watching videos for a long time, even from your first video when you were talking about how much pharmacy techs get paid when you were driving in a car one day. So this was like a long, long, long time ago. So I've been following your trend, and I've been following your upward success and how the YouTube deal is going. So right then and there, I was like, okay, I'm not the only one who picks up on this stuff.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. Okay, cool. So okay. So you decided you was gonna go with us. You did. You definitely did the work, and you went through the process. So I just want to say kudos to you on that, because we can have the right program, which we are very confident in our materials. We have a 95% passing rate, which is very high compared to, it's almost unbelievable compared to the national passing rate. But I want to know, just you personally, your results and your process when working with us. Since working with us, what results have you attained and have you accomplished?
A lot, honestly. A lot, honestly. You know, I think I took the test on Saturday, so
Yeah.
it took me about a good today's Tuesday. Yeah, I'd say by now it's sinking in that I passed. So it took me a little good while to digest what just happened, you know. And to take that in as 22-year-old, you know, and to take that in and say, wow, after all that adversity, failing twice, going through these different jobs, these ups and downs, these twirls, you know, like this program's been a godsend to people like me. And I can take this little experience that I had, these I guess you could say 2 to 3 year experience, you know, because I would look at it as a conglomerate of things, and I can apply this to any aspect of my life. So working with you guys have been a breeze, of course. I mean,
So like give me like okay, give me three takeaways. Give me three results, three takeaways that you personally have received that you can take away and utilize.
be consistent, okay, be positive, and don't be fearful. I would say those big three things, you know, um, especially working with you one on one, like the way you would tell me, hey, this is your exam, you got this, you can do it. Relax, you do the work, you trust the process, trust the work that you're putting in. So I definitely remember those things, and those things would I mean, even when we would go through our work and we would go through one of our lessons, you can kind of see my attitude just starting out in the program. I was nervous, I was frantic, I was just all over the place. So, and then we get to this point here, like I guess you could say towards the middle of the 8 weeks, and I'm like, okay, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good. And then you would talk to me right before the videos, and you would just steer my mind in the right direction. Okay, so those three things would be the big things I take away. You know, don't be afraid. You put the work in, and you trust what you do. Those are the big three key things. I feel like those were always my strengths, but it took another ego to see that, you know, to bring that out in me. So I would definitely say those. I mean, those were the major three things.
Okay, cool. So give us from that, give us because our audience they need some actionable steps. Give us some actionable steps that you took that you learned through us that helped you. Some things that you actually implemented like on a day to day or in your regimen.
Um,
Give us two.
as far as okay, um, I guess these actionable steps would be one of the methods of top 200s. Okay, I mean, with that, it was tough for me. It really was, but
So
I,
consistency in that,
I
making sure you
consistent.
stayed on top of it.
Exactly. So I just never let off the gas. You know, I didn't let my fear keep me at 10, where I can know I can go to 20. So I kept with it. I kept with it. So
Interesting that you said that because yeah, I can say through your journey that is something that I noticed. Like there were shaky times where you felt like, "Oh, is this really gonna work? Is this really what I should do? Is this really the path? Is this really gonna like if I'm consistent in this? Is this really gonna happen?" And I can remember in your journey a time with that specific method, our secret method to learn the top 200 drugs, where I think it was maybe like on the second or third week, I think you were like, Onisha, it's clicking. Like I'm remembering, it's literally working. I'm remembering the drugs without even having to just think about them too hard. They're just coming to the top of my mind. And so I see what you're saying, where how that came about through those three things that you named, like the consistency, the removing the fear, not thinking on fear, really mindset, you know. So definitely.
that was definitely a big thing. A mindset. I mean, if I knew what I knew then, what I knew now.
Yeah,
I mean, I can take this experience working with pharmacy tech lessons to the routes that I decided to choose in my life, whether it be going in full hearted and becoming a nurse practitioner, or
I love
going on and becoming a pharmacist. Like I can really take these really, I guess you say 5 months, because how long it's been a struggle with me. And I can take these little 5 months and I can turn it over to 4 years when I go through grad school, and I can always look back on this and say, you know what, I had the same issue when I took the pharmacy test, but I actually kept it. I stuck it out. And I wasn't too prideful to help. too pride to ask for help. That
Right.
was one of my big deals. I had many people that offered me to help, and in my mind, I'm thinking I'm smart, I'm educated, I know I can do this. Ain't nothing gonna stop me. But you gotta be willing to take help. That's if it. I mean, if I weren't being able to overcome that the obstacle, I wouldn't be here talking to you today.
I love it. That is so key. So key.
Most definitely.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So you're really giving a lot of value right now, Isaiah. You're really giving a lot of value. So let me ask you this. So um how do you feel about the results that you've attained? How do you feel this will impact your life going forward? Because obviously, and you can show it to us if you have it. You passed the exam, okay? You passed it. But how do you feel about these results going forward in your life? I know you kind of touched on it a bit. You know, you can really reflect on this experience and say, in anything, whether it's becoming a nurse practitioner or a doctor, whatever, I can conquer it. I just have to take the right step to get it done.
Hmm.
How do you feel about
Okay. Well, in that aspect, sorry for my dogs out there. They're causing quite a ruckus right now.
no
Um, give me yeah. Sorry, so sorry about that. Well, to kind of touch on that, I feel like a mountain has been moved in me personally. So I mean, I'm not afraid of anything anymore. So I'm not afraid of worried about the HESI, or I'm not afraid of worried about the PCAT for entry to pharmacy school. I'm just not afraid because I know with this experience, I know I just put the work in. I stayed consistent. I days when I woke up and I felt like, man, dude, I'm gonna get another fail result, and I'm still doing this. You know, you can't vocalize, you can't speak defeat and expect victory. And you know, as a young man, you don't get taught this. I mean, yeah, you do. You know, growing up, somewhat they touch on it, but it's a different feeling. It hit different when you know that you put the work in. You know that the days when you would sit in a cubicle at school for 3 to 4 hours daily answering so many questions, reviewing the same information every day. You
Yeah,
know, and like all of that hard work that I put in, that was just 5%. I felt like that was just 5% of what I can really do. So that was just a little taste to me to prove to myself that ain't nothing impossible. You put the work in. You got arms and legs just like everyone else. What reason for it to be for somebody else to pass and for you not to pass? Okay, so it's not about what they're doing. It's not about how they're doing it. It's about what you're doing and how you're putting what you do into effect. You know, so like go using all your resources, going out of your way, not doing the possible, doing the impossible. That's really what I learned. Like, you know, you can't get nowhere with your hand. You can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pocket. So that's these are valuable takeaways that I can kind of give my insight on. So
absolutely.
um,
So if you had one thing to say about this process, this program, the transformation that it's giving you to our audience, if you had one thing, what would it be?
don't waste your time and go to pharmacy tech lessons. That would be the biggest. I mean, there's nobody out there better. Don't go to what don't okay. Not to bash any kind of institutions or anything like that, but for me, I didn't go to school as in the aspect of going in for pharmacy school. I didn't do that. I got my training license, and I mean, look at the money that I saved. I mean,
Yeah,
this look at the money that I saved. I can be somewhere with 30 grand in debt. Okay, you know, and I look at that in the aspect and I'm blessed that I actually did it this route, you know. So don't waste your time. Don't be confused. Don't be frustrated. Don't be stressed. And don't let nobody scam you out of your money. Like in the aspect of that, don't go to I think for me, for people who out there like me who can't look at a book and digest information and regurgitate it on the exam,
yeah,
don't waste your time going to an institution where you can find someone like Miss Onisha in Pharmacy Tech Lessons to help you ease you through that process. The information she gives me is in my eyes would be twice as valuable to any institution. You know, like it's the same thing, but it's an extra step. You know, it's that sauce and that seasoning you can't figure it out. You know, and you try so hard to duplicate it, but you just can't. You know, you don't have the recipe. So I mean, don't waste your time. Do the work. Put yourself in an environment that's positive. That's, I mean, if you don't do that, you're gonna be with that ball and chain rolling everywhere you go. So do the work, trust the process. You know, God's gonna take care of everything, and don't worry about anything. And yeah, so I would tell you, go into pharmacy tech lessons. You're talking to an individual who failed it twice. Okay, in the low 1300s, but still, I still failed it twice. And like I mean, I got the proof to show you that pharmacy tech lessons does change lives. Okay, and you know they get you that result. They get you the result, and it's not just by you doing the work. You just gotta. They give you that moral support as well. I would definitely say that they really do give you that moral support. They give you that drive, that ambition, you know, hey, this is the work, and it's just so cut out and clear. It's structured. It's a tiered system. Like, what more can you ask for? You got it over the span of 8 weeks. Okay, there's nobody. If you're the one like me, you know, and you really hesitate to distractions, you can study at your own pace. You know, there's no rush, and yeah, I think pharmacy tech lessons is the way to go for anybody who's like me. And I really advise you guys to go and take that route, because by the time it's why it's said and done, you're gonna be, you compare that to an institution who's gonna promise you the same thing, and they might not even deliver, and you're stuck in debt. So I mean, so Nisha, she gave me her word and said, I'm gonna make it happen for you. With shadow of a doubt, when she would talk to me on the first day, I didn't believe it. I look back around. Yesterday I was sitting on my bed. I was looking at old videos, and when we for our first week, she's like, "Zay, you got to pass it with flying colors." I said, "Man, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that." So I mean, it goes to show, like it's stuff like that that really impact a life, and it really changed things around. So I would definitely urge you guys to go and make that transition.
Wow. Well, Isaiah, thank you. This has been a breath of fresh air. Thank you so much for jumping on this call, your presence, your story is amazing. Congratulations on your results. And for everyone that's watching right now, hopefully you got a ton of value from this. And if you don't know, basically, myself and my company, pharmacytechlessons.com, we help two types of people, okay? So one person would be, you want to take the PTCB exam or the ExCPT exam, and you want to pass it within 8 weeks, okay? We can help you get that done. Or like Isaiah, you have failed the PTCB exam before, and you would like to pass it within 8 weeks time, okay? 8 weeks or 2 months or less. We can help you get that done, okay? And Isaiah, he failed it twice. So it doesn't matter how many times you failed it, we can help you. And if you want more information, just shoot us an email to pharmacytechlessons@gmail.com. And if you feel like you received a ton of value from this video, then go ahead and share it with as many people as you would like. If you feel like you loved Isaiah's story, then share it with as many people as you would like. He's a really awesome guy and has a really awesome story. And you guys take care and have a wonderful day. This has been Onisha Biggs of PharmacyTechLessons.com. Have a good one.